Hello everyone. Today we're gonna play Seduce Me, the Otome. This music, pretty good. But just let me explain. This game was free. Okay, let's new game. It's a fictional interactive narrative. Any character resembles to blah 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 blah. Okay. PG 16. Alright. Yeah, please enjoy.
Why, hello. My,
good.
aren't you a gorgeous sight? Can I be honored enough to know your name?
No, my name's not Mika. It's Roland. Roland.
A lovely name for a lovely person like you.
Oh,
wonderful.
Eric, do your job.
Very well. This game was produced by Seraphim
Oh, blah blah blah.
Come on! Is that all you got?
Just shooting people and just like, oh no, is that all you got?
Try me, asshole!
Not a very polite word, but let's go. Yeah. I think he's dead.
Crap! Missed.
Ah, okay.
Let's retreat for now.
Okay.
No kidding. Let's get out of here.
Okay, bro.
That's right! You better run, you stupid punks! Stay out of our territory!
Pretty good voice acting. Pretty good. Also, this is a thing that I really want for this game. A couple of things. Boobs. What else? Keep on. Call it fate or call it coincidence. That one moment of violence started a chain of events I will never forget.
This formula, created in the 70s, is one of the most important. It is used to calculate the
Rain? It's been a long time since we've gotten rain around here, but it is the season for rainy weather, so it's not exactly that surprising. I'm just pointing out that that picture is, you probably can't see this, but it's both in one of the photos and, just right there. You probably can't see it, but whatever. Personally, I love the sound of it. The way the raindrops fell, the soft tapping of fingers. It was so soothing. Even looking at the droplets hit the glass the windows, strangely calming. Okay, tapping of fingers. I'm just pointing out all the bad notes. Look, this is... yeah, it's soothing. Yeah, pretty soothing. For this reason, I felt lucky for having a seat next to the window, although I did spend more time staring outside than I did paying attention to class. This person, Roland, she is exactly like me. The lectures in class were pretty boring. Mrs. Phillips' voice wasn't supportive, but I wasn't interested in what she was saying. And since it was that period right before lunch, all I could think about was doing other things in my free time. Honestly, I didn't really think much of the economics. I know what this is. Sure, I had good grades in this class, but it was only because I read the textbook and I did my assignments as sad as I had to. I was only taking this class because it was mandatory. If it were up to me, I would probably take another course. That's exactly like me for math. Luckily, it was my senior year, so after this semester it will be the end of high school courses forever. Thank God for that. Trying to put emphasis on, the God. So it sounds more like a, yeah. I didn't hate high school. It was just kind of mundane how the days drifted on and there was no end to it. I liked this girl. The only thing I really enjoyed about going to school was meeting my friends and hanging out with them. See, this is exactly the same as the thing. But that was kind of it. In short, I was done with high school. The start of second semester brought a note to finality to it. I already applied to many universities this semester, prior. I was expecting replies sometime in the next few months. Seemed like the start of something new, something that would change. That is, if things could change. I started at a faint outline of raindrops in the distance. For now, I was stuck in this class. I'm not sick.
Miss Anderson.
Mrs. Phillips' raised voice interrupted my train of thought. Just look at that. Yeah, I don't expect like any of those games with like a really good anime. This is like one person or something. Just when I was thinking about class, I quickly turned my head to face the teacher. Hopefully she didn't pick me just because she'd noticed that I was spacing out. Yes ma'am?
Would you care to name the equation I set up on the blackboard?
Oh, I think I read about that in the textbook last night. It should be the Black-Scholes model formula.
Very good as always, Miss Anderson.
Anderson? It followed me wherever I went. Most people really didn't really know about me by my first name, but rather by my surname. No doubt, since the surname was the trademark of the internationally famous and who says that? Alright, sorry. Anderson Family Toys, because the founder was my own grandfather. Suzu, one of my best friends, turned around proudly gave me a punch to the shoulder.
Kick ass, girl.
A very polite word. From beside me, I heard Naomi. Is this game Japanese? I'm sorry, is this? I'll take this as a no. From behind me I heard Naomi, another one of my best friends, clearing her throat in obvious disapproval of Suzu's choice of words.
She means good job.
Sorry.
Miss Capini.
So many people on the screen!
Oi!
Wait, how do you go back? Save one. Okay.
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were? Oh, kick ass, girl. Miss Capini. Oi! Miss Capini. Oi! Miss Capini. Oi! Miss Cap. Oi! Miss Cap. Oi! Miss Cap. Oi!
Alright.
Care to tell me who the creators of this formula were? Oi! Care to tell...
Some guys named Black and Shoals. Fisher Black and Myron Shoals.
Very good, Miss Patterson.
Show off. Better study next time, Suzu. Be like us and study once in a while.
Suzu.
That's the end of today's
I had to read that, didn't I?
Better study next time, Suzu.
Suzu rolled her eyes and slouched into her chair as Naomi gave her a small smack. She always pouted when Naomi showed her up.
That's the end of today's lecture. Now, let's separate into groups and work on your projects. Remember, everything is due on Monday. Go ahead now.
Before I knew it, Suzu and Naomi had scooted their desks to align with mine, and we turned into the Three Musketeers. Whenever the teacher let the students decide on groups, we always grouped together in our little trio. It was a shared stroke of luck that we all managed to be in the same class, so we had to at least take the opportunity and stick together as much as we could. Besides, we were most comfortable around each other than, say, compared to being around any other classmate. It just made sense for us to put our heads together for any kind of project. I took out the poster we were working on, and rolled it open into the 3 desks. We were pretty much finished with fulfilling most of the guidelines for the project, though we did still have to add a few finishing touches here and there. After working on making the poster a little bit prettier, we sat back and inspected our work to see what we still had to do. I'm just gonna talk every once in a while. How are you guys? Pretty good. I have a headache. Took a pill. Feeling better. Naomi, as usual, was the first to look for any issues. She lightly tapped a pencil against her chin, staring intently at the project.
Alright, so let's see. We finished the budgeting section, the building leasing, and the cost for labor. What else do we need?
Suzu straightened up to look at the poster and stroked her chin. After a few seconds, her face brightened and she spoke up.
How about a company name?
Huh? Did we really skip over that?
Of course we did. You always go straight into the logical statistics and stuff that you completely skip over the facts. We need a name for our project.
At least we caught it this time. What do we name it?
Not sure. What do you think?
It always came down to me. Whenever there was something to do, to be named or titled, I was the master in any decision, even when I didn't want to be.
I like Trinity Corporations.
That is way too predictable. How about the Dragon Company?
What do dragons have to do with our project?
What? It's a totally unpredictable name. It's hot.
But our company sells bubblegum.
Who said we can't produce spicy bubblegum?
What do you think?
Yeah. What do you think?
Both of them looked at me expectantly. Sorry, I know what I'm just pointing this out. I know what that word is. I know how to say it. Just I don't know how to say it. Even though I wasn't quite sure myself, I didn't really want to choose sides. But if it were up to me, I would say, what? I can't do my own. Dragon Company.
Alright, now that we've decided on a...
Booyah! Dragon Company it is!
Alright, now that we've decided on a name, now what?
As we ended our name game, a giggle scrambled my thoughts. Oh, what was that?
Ignore it, it's just Lisette.
I looked over my shoulder to see her laughing with a circle of friends, mostly comprised of popular people that were practically friends with everyone in the school. I probably didn't say that right, but I don't care. And as a result, everyone in the school knew them. In the center of it all was Lisette White. She sat with a posture that indicated she was still working, but that she also was ready to casually chat about her day. She had an endearing balance of charismatic and awkward, which was readily apparent when she first talked to someone. It was easy to make her smile and laugh, and she was quite the comedian as well. Basically, she was perfect. Not that she was like a robot or something, but she was a student that everyone else wanted to be. The set was bright, easygoing, and above all, had her future laid out right in front of her. Unlike the average student, she knew what she wanted to do after high school, and as a result, she was confident and ambitious. Ambitious. Though sometimes it could... I clicked something. Okay, we've saved it. I think. Alright. She was confident and ambitious, though sometimes it could rub a lot of people the wrong way. Moreover, I had known her ever since I was young, and it ultimately resulted in a rivalry that continued today. Of course my friends knew what was between us, and upon seeing me glance at her, they shifted their attention to her.
She doesn't even look like she's working, in my opinion.
She probably is, but she's too much of a stuck-up priss to allow herself to look like she's actually doing work.
Oh, come on, Suzu. She may be a little off-putting, but she's not the giant priss that you're making her seem to be.
The day she isn't priss is the day I turn into you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Never mind. It's about time! Let's bail!
Okay, you can just fly away. Unsurprisingly, Suzu was the first out of the classroom, slinging her backpack over her shoulder with ease as she quickly strolled out of the door. Oh, sounds like basically everyone in my classroom.
Her seat isn't even closest to the exit, and she always manages to be the first one out of the door. I don't think I'll ever understand that.
Naomi folded her arms close to her chest, giving me a disappointed look. Hey, you be quiet. I am a professional, run.
Oh, not you too. She's turning you into a delinquent.
Ha ha ha, it's a joke, Naomi.
Well, it's not really funny.
Well, I wasn't joking.
Man, you guys are slow. Are you coming or what?
We heard you the first time. Not everyone has rocket boosters attached to their legs when the bell rings.
Well, apparently you do, because you friggin' flew out there like friggin'...
Are you kidding me? That class was ridiculously boring. Even Miss Valedictorian here was dozing off of
How did someone pronounce that? Ha ha ha! I do have to admit I was spacing out, and just because I answered one question doesn't mean I'm automatically the valedictorian.
Okay, so it wasn't too interesting. But you should at least pay attention when Phillips is talking about the important parts.
So you finally admit it. We're finally on the same wavelength. Welcome to the club, Patterson.
Please, don't call me by my last name. This isn't the classroom. And never in a million years will we ever see things eye to eye.
Despite this, they both burst out in laughter. Normally, anyone would think that opposites like them would never associate with each other. But even though they were so different, their friendship somehow made a lot of sense. Maybe they were just perfect complements, or personality that just didn't dictate the possibility of their friendship. After all, we three had been best friends since preschool.
Alright, so where are we heading to first? Cafeteria? I think we can all agree that we're really hungry, especially after hearing about our company's line of deliciously spicy bubblegum.
Who would even buy that? I wonder.
I wouldn't. I like spicy things. I like bubblegum. But when you combine something together, that creates Coke. I just said this.
Me? I would pay good money to get a taste of it.
Ahaha, you do like spicy food after all. We entered the cafeteria, a bustling room filled with the aromas of different kinds of food. As we got in line, we ordered our meals and chatted freely.
Cajun fries and a spicy chicken burger for me. That's my definition of a good meal.
I'll take a tuna sandwich and some juice.
Wait, what? I did it again!
I can't be tamed by the likes of that. If it's spicy, then it's gotta be all or nothing.
You're crazy!
Hell yeah, I'm crazy.
I think I'm getting a migraine.
From what topic? I think I'll go with a mac and cheese. Oh, that sounds good. Once we got our food, we settled down at one of the empty tables, putting our backpacks aside to finally dig into the food. Suzu. Is that a real name? Suzu? I don't know. Suzu leaned back in her chair, tilting it back so that she could rest her feet on the table by her food.
Alright then, is there anything we want to talk about?
Bored already?
I know, let's talk about...
Say boys and I will never speak to you ever again.
Aw, why not?
What's so interesting about talking about guys? Not like any of us are gonna get boyfriends anytime soon.
Oh, what a great foreshadowing of events.
We don't know that. What if one of us does get a boyfriend?
Like that's going to happen, Naomi. Look at us. I'm a tiny Italian. You're a ditzy blonde.
She's blonde. She's great, isn't she?
Hey!
No offense. And Anderson here. Well, I guess she could land a boyfriend or girlfriend if she wants.
Oh. Yeah. Hooray for, gender equality and, anti-gay. Yay.
Or girlfriend?
She can be a lesbian if she wants.
See? Right here.
True.
It's okay, Suzu. I'm not sure I want a boyfriend yet.
Why not? It's our senior year. Might as well get a boyfriend.
Maybe she's just not interested in a relationship, Suzu.
Well, it really wasn't about wanting a relationship, but more of there was no one interesting about enough to be in a relationship with. Don't get me wrong, I'm an open person, and when there were not many interesting guys in school to go out with, who knows? Time will tell. Naomi looked at me, wanting to continue the conversation. However, before she could speak, the speakers in the cafe... Isn't it a cafe? Ah, never mind. Started up and an announcement echoed through the cafeteria.
Miss Anderson, please come to the main office immediately. Please bring your
Oh
things
no! Roland Anderson. I'm Roland McDoland.
Oh my.
Looks like our plans have been cut short. The men in white coats have finally come to get you.
Suzu, don't joke around. What if it's serious?
I'm sorry, can I just, if you see this, seduce me to Otome.
Fine. If something happens, just call us.
Funny enough, something did happen. And there was certainly no laughing matter. Cold. It was really cold. The rain became heavier that afternoon, accompanied by rolling thunder now and then. The skies have turned dark, though I couldn't see any of it under the black umbrella. I really like lightning. I just realized that. Every time lightning happens, I'm in a really good mood. Not that I was looking up. In fact, looking up was the exact opposite of what I wanted to do. Did you know that you shouldn't actually use an umbrella when there's a thunderstorm? It's a fact. I stared at the grass beneath my feet, unable to look up at the people weeping around me. All I could see was that the damp grass underneath my feet. Only the monotone that floated around my ears reminded me that I was at a funeral. Oh, she's at a funeral. Oh, well, obviously, that shows everything. Yeah, it's raining, there's thunder, she uses a black umbrella. It was only when the speeches ended that I finally was able to raise my head. Harold Anderson! Oh no, that's my papa! Small gathering of people, mostly made of relatives that I didn't even know, related to me, were huddled around a simple, small grave. That's my, granddaddy. For a while, all I heard was the sound of raindrops on umbrellas. If it weren't raining, everything would probably be in heavy silence. It would also be a lot less dramatic. I looked beside me, where my father was standing and holding up a large black umbrella for our small family of 3. His face was emotionless, a strange sight next to my weeping mother. I wondered what was going through his mind. After all, he etched into the smooth grey tombstone before us was his father's name. Oh, yes, that's my grandpapa was the one who raised me like his own daughter. Had passed away that day. The ceremony was small. Only close family were allowed to come. Stop talking about that. You've said it 3 freaking times in the past 2 minutes. And close family were allowed to come, blah blah blah, but people can't leave. Leave my father behind the grave. Small gun, blade black suit, in the uniform black umbrella, grandfather's lawyer, pulled out a few documents, a suitcase, blah 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 blah.
Now, I shall read Harold Anderson's last will and testament.
Only my parents and I were allowed to be the president of my grandfather's will. It was under the strict request of his lawyer, and there was a reason why.
And to my dearest granddaughter, I give my estate. All the furniture and decor that resides within the house shall also be given to my granddaughter.
Sell it all. What? I couldn't believe my ears. I had earned my family's estate. That was impossible! And yet it was written by my own grandfather's hand. Or was it?
He passed the family estate to her? Why am I not surprised?
He's your dad. Be a little bit polite, at least. He's dead. Come on.
Dear.
Well, did he say anything about what will become of the CEO and chairman position of the Anderson Toys Company?
No. It is presumed that the vice chairman will succeed the position.
Even to the bitter end, he wouldn't give in. What a stubborn old man.
Shaking his head, my father turned to face my mother with a serious expression on his face.
About the estate. Should we send her there to get used to the building? It'll be a good place for her to live after high school.
Are you sure we should?
Why not? This would be a good experience for her.
Why are you so angry?
Honey, what do you think?
Stop. Oh, I'm sorry. Ellipsis. I really wasn't sure what to say. What did my grandpapa think that I was the appropriate heir to the mansion? Was I even ready to live on my own?
Well, that seems to be it. We'll be taking our leave now. I'm sure the little heiress needs some time to adjust.
David!
Okay, you can just skate on up there. Even though she raised her voice, my dad wordlessly began skating back to the car, disinterested.
Don't mind him, honey. I think that your grandfather's passing really affected him. Why don't we get back home for now?
You can go on ahead with the car, Mom. I think I need some time alone with Grandpa.
Oh, of course. Take all the time you need.
Is she gonna skate out? Oh, she skates out. She gave me a quick hug and hurried after my dad. I looked around the funeral grounds. It was completely empty, save for the sullen-looking grave that was laid in front of me. I'm sure that if Grandpapa were in charge of arranging all of this, it would have been much different. It was blatantly obvious that my dad was in charge of the whole event. Who else would bury their own family the same day they passed away? Everyone knew my grandfather's love for toys, and yet the grave was a mere stone slab on the ground, void of any children's toys. My dad didn't even bother putting flowers. His disdain for my grandfather was almost pitiful. Sorry, Grandpapa. I tried to force out some words, but the only thing that came out was a choked sob. You told me to stay strong, but right now, I'm the furthest from it. Like that one time. A long time ago. Grandpapa!
Oh, it's so good to see you again, sweetie.
I was swept into a giant bear hug, and we both laughed as he swung me around like an airplane. It was one of my favorite things about seeing my grandfather, the way he greeted me. Unlike my father, my grandfather was loving and playful, even as I grew older. Sorry that Daddy couldn't be here today. He said that he wasn't feeling too good again. It had always been like that. Dad missed every visit to Grandpapa's house, citing that he was busy with work or wasn't feeling well.
Is that so? Well, that's okay. Daddy can come around next time. And you're here, right?
No. Yeah. So what are we doing today, Grandpapa? Mommy says there's a new dessert cafe open in town. Maybe we could go?
Oh, I would love to. But I've been so busy with the company these days. We're actually working on a little something. Would you like to see?
Oh, yes! Is that a toy?
It is. I was designing a new line of them. But I feel like something's missing. You don't think you could help me out, could you?
Of course! He placed the toy in my hands with a smile, and I inspected it carefully. It was beautifully crafted, and obviously a lot of work was put into it. There was one thing though.
So, what do you think?
Well, I can't see it, can I? I think the heart on its chest should light up when you hug it. It'll be like it's alive. It can be a little night light before you sleep. He stroked his chin, considering my input while nodding his head. After a few moments of silent deliberation, he turned to me with a chuckle.
That's a great idea! I'll get to changing it right away. You're always like my little lucky charm, dear. You always know what to add to make the perfect toy.
Well, I hope I can be like you one day, Grandpa.
You want to make toys as well?
No, it was stupid.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
That makes sense. Daddy doesn't think of it the same way, though.
Your father. I'm sure he just wants the best for you.
I'm not so sure about that.
Sweetie, look at me.
Alright, after this flashback is done, I'm gonna end it off, okay? He bent down to look at me at eye level, with a serious look on his face.
As much as your father may say something that doesn't make sense now, you must remember that he's always thinking about you. He loves you. There's no doubt about that. And you need to love him just as equally.
I don't hate Daddy. I really do love him. I don't know why he's like this, though. I'm suddenly British.
Your father and I have had some difficulties with each other in the past. But it's nothing that you should be concerned about.
I heard tidbits from this from my mother and various other people. The only people who would stay quiet were my father and grandfather. Both of them refrained from saying a word on the subject matter. It was clear that whatever happened set up a wall between them. It's hard though, trying to pretend as if something were wrong.
However,
nothing wrong.
No matter what, you have to stay strong. You're a big girl already, and, well, there'll come a day when it seems like it's you against the world. But always remember that your family and friends will be here with you.
Okay, bro.
Daddy, Mommy, your friends at school.
Mommy.
Me. We'll stand together to get through it.
How can you be so sure of that?
Because we'll be right here and here.
He pointed his finger to my head first, and then pointed at my chest. Whoa! Grandpapa, if you're gonna be like that... I can just imagine, like, in this game, like, one of the love interests is your grandpapa. Alright.
So stay strong. Promise?
For a moment he looked almost sad, pleading, but as quickly as it had come, the expression disappeared from his face, and he was all that smiles once again. Promise. Upon hearing that, Grandpa let out a great burst of laughter and stood up.
Alright then, enough of that. How about I whip up some special homemade dessert? I know I can't accompany you at that new cafe, but we sure can talk and eat while I cook and do some paperwork.
Homemade dessert? I'll waste in the kitchen.
Hey, slow down there. I'm not what I used to be.
You will me the very home I'd love to see you in. Why? Why would you think I'd be ready to take it, especially after this? A surge of anger bubbled within me, but I quickly swallowed it. There was no use in getting mad, especially when the person in question was no longer there. I'm sorry, it's hard to stay calm and blah 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 blah. My vision blurred, and I suddenly realized that I was crying. My face heated up and tears cried. I'll bring you some flowers later. I miss you, Grandpa. Blah blah blah. I let the tears.
Well, it's time to head back home.
Okay, the end. The end. The end. The end. Bye bye. Bye bye. Like, subscribe, and give me money.